going on, y'all? The reviewer is here, and I'm back to give y'all this album review called Zero versus the World. Y'all should know who Zero is. If y'all check out my last review, I did a his called Look What You Did to Me. In case you missed it, I'm gonna put that link in the description box for y'all to peep out. All right, so this right here is his second album under Straight Profit Records. I don't have the OG release. I've been looking everywhere for it, but it is what it is, I guess. So this is the CD right here, and I got some of the albums that I have on here coming, so be on the lookout for that. And this album I was in high expectations for this album. So after listening to the first album, I was like, it's gonna be kind of hard to top that. You know what I'm saying? But this album is just as good, man, and I'm gonna tell you all about it. All right, the producers for this album, I'll put all that in the description box. Oh, let me do this. The producers, I'll put all that in the description box. The features, I'll tell you the features as I go along with the songs, which I'm about to do right now. So I should be able to see it right here. All right, so the first one is called Nig from the Hood. This features Big Mo, may he rest in peace. This song is pretty tight. Ro ripped up on this track, man. Big Mo is on the hook. He does a nice job singing and stuff. And the beat is pretty good. The way Zero raps on there, man, is insane, man. The way he rips up on here, it almost took it back to the first album, man, when I heard it. So this is a must peep for y'all to check out this song right here. Worldwide, this is a solid track. Bro went in though. I mean, he pretty much saying to protect himself from all these lames and you know, scandalous cats out there. And on the hook is a little auto-tune as he sings. Don't really mind the auto-tune. He didn't overdo it. So with that being said, it's a pretty solid track. The next one I'm gonna go down to Hustlin' All I Can Do. This features 3-2 and Point Blank. Rest in peace to 3-2. All right. The track itself is on point. I love it, man. Point Blank comes through with a really dope verse. Be on the lookout for one of Point Blank albums coming soon. I'm gonna try to find some of them. I know it's kind of hard to find, but I'm gonna try to, you know, look for it. But he comes through with a really dope verse. 3-2, he does a pretty solid job on here. And there's also a nice sample from an old school song. I can't remember what it is, but I've heard that rhythm before. The next one I'm gonna go down to Swing on 4s. This features Cliche and Big Mo. This is a really tight track. Cliche comes through with a really dope verse. Ro came in with another nice verse on there. Big Mo does really well on this song. Third Coast, this features Din Din, Grace, may he rest in peace. This is a solid track. I didn't like it at first, but then I start to like it a little more later. Grace came through with a pretty good verse, and overall, like I said, is a solid track. The next one is One Thug. Now this is my joint right here. I love this track right here. This is a nice sample from that Houdini. I think that's who it is. It's called One Love, but this one is called One Thug. Zero went in on this track right here, man. The beat is pretty good, and the verses that Ro went in on was on point, man. Like, this is probably one of my personal favorites off of the album, man. Really dope. Gonna Get Easier. This is a really nice track as well from Zero. This is pretty much a remake from the song Lord Tell Me Why, if you remember that song from Look What You Did to Me. It's really laid back. Ro come through with some pretty nice verses. He even mentioned on the verse that people say he sound like Pac. But again, this is a really nice track. The hook is pretty good too. Screwed Up. This features Grace. This track here is really good, man. The hook is a nice little tribute of In Vogue. I cannot remember that song, but I've heard the hook when Ro was singing, and it really sounds familiar. But Grace come through with a pretty solid verse. Zero comes through with some dope verses, man. He goes in on this track. And the beat is pretty nice as well. Still My Life. This is a nice track as well. It's a remake of Life Story, if y'all remember that song from Look What You Did to Me. Zero comes through with some really dope verses. And one thing I do like about these remakes, he don't have the same exact verses. You know what I'm saying? But he has the same hooks, which is fine. I can accept that. This song is really dope though. I like it. I think this is kind of better than the original one from the first album, because this one is more laid back. Let's Chill. This features Cliche, and this is a pretty cool track, not bad. You know, for albums, you gotta make a song for the ladies and all that stuff. Zero comes through with a pretty good verse, talking about hitting up with some females, and then Cliche does a little thing with men. Why? That's the name of the song. This is a really great track. I love this one right here. This is a remake of the Marvin Gaye song. I think it's the Mercy Mercy Me song. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's that. Zero comes through with some really dope verses, and the way he sings that hook is really on point, man. I love that. I catch myself singing this hook from time to time, man. That's how really dope it is. Steady Ballin'. This features Hawk. May he rest in peace. And this is a banger right here, man. I mean, I play this song non-stop. This track is banging, like I said, man. Zero ripped the hell up on this song, man. And then Hawk does a really good job as well. And the beat is pretty good. The hook is nice. I mean, this is probably one of my personal favorites, another one of my personal favorites from the album. And he just goes in on this song, man. Like I said, I played this song a couple of times in a row, maybe even more. Because the way Zero rapping on there, man, he just going in with the fast flows and all that good stuff. And then the last one is called Smoker's Anthem. This is a pretty good track. This is pretty much for the smokers, you know, that loves to smoke weed and all that good stuff. And Zero, this same funny track, he said he running a train on Mary Jane. I like that part. But again, if you're a smoker, you'll definitely like this track. Even if you don't smoke, you might like this track. So either way it goes. But it's a pretty good one though. So that's all the songs that I review for this album. I had a hard time giving this a fair rating because I gotta stop comparing this to Look What You Did to Me, because I think that one was a classic. But for this one, I can give this a solid 9. You know, and the reason why I say solid 9 is because there was a couple of tracks that I didn't really care for, but the ones that are on point, Zero does a good job with the verses and with the productions, and he just goes in throughout the whole album, man. And some of the remakes is on point too. I know it would have been hard to top that first one, man, which is a classic, but this one is dope as well, man. With that being said, I would hear this album out if you're a Zero fan or even a Texas fan, because I think these songs are really on point. And I think on this album as well, I think Zero was trying to find his style or his image, while on the first one he just was going in regardless of what he, you know, what people think. But this one, I think he just tried to balance it out throughout the album. So for that being explained, most people would probably choose this one over the first one, even though the first one is a classic. I know I keep saying that, but to me, it's my opinion. But you can always hear this on the streams, but like I've always said before, I prefer to get the physical copies. All right, so that's it. Shout out to Zero for coming out with a really dope album. Shout out to all the producers. Shout out to all the features. All right, much love to the real folks, and I'll be on here back with another review. All right, peace out, guys.